Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here, and it's Monday, which means it is once again time for another one of our weekly viewer specials. I'm sure most of you know the drill by now, but I'm going to go ahead and break down what this series is all about for those of you who don't. But before I do, I got to give a huge thanks here at the beginning of the video to you, the one watching this. I really do appreciate just the overall continued support. I know I've been talking, I always talk about like, the Patreon members and all the YouTube members, and of course they're very much appreciated, very much as well. But just everyone who's watching the videos as well. Sometimes I stop and think like, oh my god, I've been making Master Duel videos every day for like well over 2 years, like coming up on 3 years, not too long from now at this point. And you all have just been like so supportive the entire time. I really do appreciate it. And the viewer special series is another one of those where your support, everyone's support, really shines through, because for those who don't know, the viewer special is a series in which we watch your games, right? It lets us see the cool decks that you're playing and the awesome games you're having with them. And really, it just lets us all kind of come together as a community a little bit more. So, if you all didn't submit games for the viewer special, we couldn't do this video series, which is like our longest running series on the channel and my favorite by far. So I thank you all for like just being active on the Discord server, submitting games every single week, for showing up to the YouTube videos, for commenting your support below. It really all does mean the world. I really want you to know that. So thank you very much. But if you want to submit a game for the viewer special, go ahead and head down the description below. You're going to find an invite link to our Discord server, the Hexlexplex. Under the Master Duel section, there is a channel for viewer special submissions, and you can leave there the main bit of info which I'll need from you, which is your 9-digit player ID. Please make sure you are typing this number incorrectly, and also please make sure that your games are publicly saved. Those are the two biggest things that stop me from being able to see people's games. So please make sure that information is all good there. If you also want to leave a little blurb about the game, like if you have multiple replays, definitely leave either your opponent's name and or the date and time that you played against them. You can definitely submit multiple different replays. I just ask that you don't submit the same one over and over again. But yeah, if you also want to leave a little blurb like, I played this deck versus this deck, or even go into more detail about the game, that's very helpful information. So I do watch pretty much everything that comes through, and we can only feature a few games a week. So if you don't make it, just know that I did watch your video. There's like a 90% chance that I watch almost everything that comes through. And there's always, every single week, like I said, we do this. So there's definitely going to be more chances to get your game in to the viewer special. But enough of me yapping. Let's go ahead and start looking at some of your games. Okay, our first game comes to us from Kenny. Kenny, we all love Kenny, right? Kenny is going to show us a game with a Gen and Ken D deck. Also gotta say, Kenny, I love the this icon with the Xyz frame. Looks very nice. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and check out this game, which I think just demonstrates more of like what the deck is all about. But Kenny also pointed out that this other duel, if you're interested in seeing more from it, involves a lot more counterplay. But I want to see what this Gen and Ken deck can really do. So I haven't tried out a deck with them just yet, but I am interested in the idea. I know one of the things that you can do is give the card to your opponent to use Thrust or Triple Tactics talent. Yep, exactly. So here we have Gen, Ken, Ohime, and Triple Tactics. This seems like a great opening hand. So we get to draw 2, discard 1 here, because for those who aren't familiar with Ken and Gen just yet, the way they work is that if you summon one, it'll summon the other to the opponent's field. Now you might read Ken the Warrior Dragon and be like, wait, why would you want your opponent to discard or draw 2 and discard 1? Or you might read Gen and be like, wait, why would you want to discard a card? But remember, the idea is that you're special summoning the other to the opponent's field. This not only means that, you are the one drawing 2 discarding, or they are the one discarding 1 card, but it'll also proc cards like Triple Tactics Talent and Thrust, which is kind of one of the main things that you can use to, like abuse this kind of engine with. I mean, there's a number of things you can do, right? Alright, so it looks like it ended up being... I think that went by a little bit quickly, but it looks like it ended up being in for Noble there, and we put back one of their combo pieces. I didn't see any hand traps there either, I'm pretty sure, so we should be all set to combo out here. We use the Preparation of Rites for Ohime. Mikanko it's one of those decks that I'm like... I feel like I'm constantly thinking about... Like, not that I'm always thinking about building it, but like it's always in the back of my mind, right? When I'm thinking about, when I have leftover, like, UR craft materials, I'm like, what could I use these on if I wanted to? And Mikanko's always one of those answers, so... going for the Isolde here, grabbing Hare and the Great Mikanko Ceremony, pitching the Ohime. Mikanko Ceremony is, of course, going to summon out the Ohime here. Ooh, Geonator Transverser. Interesting. So for those who aren't familiar with this card, this one lets you swap control of two monsters that it's pointing to. So, looks like we intend to take our Ken back at some point. I wonder what we're going to be giving them. I guess we'll have to find out. Alright, here's the Huli. Huli going for the Spirit Walk. Now we're overlaying for a rank 3. Ah, it's this. Okay. Yeah, Kenny is not the only person doing this on the Discord server. I've seen, I think it was Arcane Ape. Someone else was talking about doing Acid Golem stuff too. So, the idea here is not too dissimilar from a Sanctifier lock, actually, which is kind of gross when you think about it, but we are using Geonator Transverser to give our opponent control of number 30 Acid Golem of Destruction. This does two things. The main thing, it says you cannot special summon any monsters, period. So it is a lingering floodgate, again, similar to the style of like Sanctifier locks. But not only that, this is actually a pretty good card to summon to your opponent's field when playing Mikanko, because it's got 3k attack and defense points. So there's not, excuse me, there's not any way for your opponent to really avoid taking battle damage from this thing, because it's got such huge stats on either side. Oh, and then also on top of that, they're going to be taking burn damage every standby phase, every one of their standby phases. So that's another nice little bonus there. We even get to summon the Gen to their field to force them to discard a card. They do get to pick the card, right? Because, yeah, it just says discard a card. It doesn't say discard a card at random, so... They do get to pick the card. We're going for Raging Phoenix. Is there a Prom Princess in here? Wait, there was a Prom Princess. Okay. Alright, Acid Golem, gonna burn them. Going for the Aqua Dolphin, pitching the Diabell, and they do hit our Ohime. But, I mean, they can battle here, but they still can't special summon. And the other thing about Acid Golem is that once it's out of materials, it can't attack anymore. So, like, as in starting next turn, like, that's the only attack they're going to be able to get in with the Acid Golem. Can't summon Diabell by sending the Acid Golem, because you can't even attempt to do the special summon here. And looks like they're just going to concede as we're threatening to go into our Mikanko combo. But yeah, even if we didn't, like, OTK them on this turn, which I'm pretty sure we should have been able to, right? Maybe. I actually have no idea. I'm not that familiar with Mikanko. But yeah, even if we didn't finish them off this turn, then yeah, the other Acid Golem effect... Well, they also took 2k, so they're only at 6k. So we definitely should have been able to finish them off, I think. But yeah, the other Acid Golem material would have detached. It would have taken another 2k. Wait, is it detach or and? I think it's or. I think they actually chose to take 2k. It is or. So never mind. They had materials. They chose to take 2k instead. Never mind, never mind. So they could still attack. But most importantly, they can't special summon. So that is, wow. That is definitely something you can do with Getting Ken. So thank you very much, Kenny, for that submission there. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next duel. Okay, our next replay comes to us from Runther. Runther is going to be playing Ritual Beast up against Infernoid. That should be this game right here. Runther says, I'm not an expert on Ritual Beast. Don't worry, you're in good company. I sure should have not either, as you all saw from, I think yesterday's video it was. Alright, so we're going second here. Yeah, always eager to see other people play Ritual Beast, because I just, like I said, I have no idea what I'm doing, so... Alright, Infernoid coming right out the gate, banishing the Patrulia to summon the Permace, the level 1 What does this one do? Target a set card on the field, shuffle into the deck. Can't activate in response. Okay. The Infernoid, ever since I've played in the TCG, this deck always scares, it just scares me so much. Because these cards all do so many different things, and it feels like this deck has a million extenders. Like, you use your hand traps and they just reasoning anyway. It's like, I don't know. I guess Monster Gate's scarier than Reasoning. Reasoning, you just call one, and then they send to the Decatron, but... so they have Talent, and they drew into Thrust. That's brutal. They're going to set Void Feast. That's the one that, yeah, lets them summon a bunch. Alright, Reasoning. We called level 1. Good, good, good. Yeah, there's a Dark Fusion. They use that to summon their new Fusion monster. That really confused me the first time I saw it. I was like, huh? Evil heroes and Infernoids? No, no, it's not that fun. But, oh god, they get to set up so much in the graveyard here. Infernoids are so scary. It's like I said, this deck just actually just terrifies me. Alright, so there's another Dark Fusion. Where is this Decatron? Good lord, is it at the bottom of their deck? Oh, they summoned a Cyframe Driver. Good. Alright, normal summon Fairy Tail Snow. Bringing back Onuchu. Fire Recovery is going to put back 3 of the Infernoid monsters, and they get to draw a card here. They're going to set one and then pass? Really? You don't have like a IEP or an Appaloosa to go into? I guess not. Okay. Alright, so drawing for turn, we're going to start with Imperm on Onuchu. That's the board wipe, right? When a spell trap card is activated, tribute a monster. Oh, no, it does. Oh, no, it is a board wipe, but it also has a quick effect, spell trap negate, so. Alright, so Fairy Tail Snow coming back here. Wait, how'd it go to the graveyard? Oh, they use this to tribute it. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Yep. And they're going to turn our Canahawk face down. But we have Lara, so we can just pitch that. Oh, Callby is actually not great here. I don't know why they did that. That had to be like a... Oh, wait, maybe they wanted that monster in the graveyard. Actually, that does make sense. Oh, because it was Fairy Tail Snow. Duh. Why'd they put their Fairy Tail Snow in the graveyard? I wonder. Alright, so here's our ulti Canahawk. Gonna bring back original Canahawk and Lara. Here's their Fairy Tail Snow again. Snow F on the Canahawk again. We're gonna summon ulti Canahawk again. And then we're gonna bring back, or putting back, and then we're going to summon the Protoss. Ritual Beast Spawn. What's this one do again? Banish Shu you control, summon a Ritual Beast from your extract, ignoring the conditions. Okay. Alright, so I assume we called Fire, right? Yeah. Wow, they're really getting that mileage out of their Fairy Tail Snow, huh? Turning down the ulti Canahawk is nothing here. It's... Oh, no, that's not true. They can't, we can't banish now. Never mind. Alright, so Monster Gate tribute the Snow, but they can't special summon Fire monsters, so I don't really know what exactly they intend to... I guess they wanted to mill a little bit more? I don't really know what our opponent intends to do here, but... I was gonna say they might deck out, but no, they still have Decatron in there. Transaction rollback. Oh me, that's what they were going for. But wouldn't that just be usable with Void Feast? Isn't that like the only trap card we've seen? I guess it is. I love this new overlay, by the way, with untap, so you can hover and just see the whole graveyard and banish pile without having to scroll. It's very, very nice. Alright, E-Telling for the Lara. Pingu and Lara is definitely enough to combo out here, and there's no mistake of that. Alright, Banishing Winda, flipping Protoss for light, sure. Doesn't even really matter at this point, right? I feel like they've used so many resources. I guess also now they can't summon the Fairy Tail Snow anymore either. Here we're linking the Winda and the Canahawk into ulti Kimoon Falcos. Falcos F. We're gonna banish normal summon. Summon the Lara for the Apelio. Apelio F. Banish to give our stuff attack points. Is that lethal? Oh yeah, that is lethal. 3, 3, 5. Yep, that's lethal. Yep. Alright. GG's, Runther. Thanks for showing off some Ritual Beast action. I mean, like I said before, I could definitely always use a refresher here. The deck is very, very difficult to play, and I'm not very good at it, so. Alright, let's go ahead and see one last game here. And for our last opponent, they are going to be Dirty Dan, who I actually played against this person recently on ladder. It was funny, I was playing Tenpai, and then after the game was over, I got pinged in the Discord server and was like, was that really you on ladder? And it's like, yep, that was me. And Dirty Dan won. They played very, very well. It was a very good game. So speaking of Lab versus Tenpai, I wondered for a second when I saw the submission, I was like, oh, are you going to submit your game against me? I would have totally been cool with that, by the way. If that ever randomly happens with anyone, I am definitely always down to clown with that kind of a replay against myself, especially if you beat me. But I think we're going to be watching... Let me look here again just to make sure. Yeah, we're going to be watching this one against Yummy Yugi. It's a funny name. Which is going to be Lab versus Tenpai, so definitely makes sense why you might have been seeing, I have anyway, like more Lab on ladder lately. I mean, one, Lab is just a good deck. I've seen people, like, shortly before this update, I saw more than one person be like, oh, well, Lab is bad now, and I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? Lab is a perfectly fine deck. Are you kidding me? Yeah, being able to always set up into Tenpai is pretty darn good. And it's not always terribly difficult to stop Tenpai with your trap cards. Of course, it can depend on what you open, but... So, we're going to flip up the Black Goat Laughs and say they cannot special summon Pydra. So, they're going to go for the Shundra here. We're going to go for our lovely Lab, bouncing back the Coup Clock that we set with the big welcome here. Going to activate to try to pop, but they are going to use the Forbidden Droplet. We got the Trap Trick that we're going to chain in response to that, which lets us also use the Coup Clock. Or not which lets us use, but we can also use the Coup Clock effect here, which we are going to do. So, we're banishing the Karma Cannon to set that. Droplet does negate the Lovely, but yeah, I mean, the Karma Cannon, very, very good, very effective against the Tenpai deck. One of many reasons, of course. There are many trap cards that we can play that are very good against them. This Ice Dragon's Prison is one of them. D-Barrier is another one, potentially. Alright, we're going to try to set the big welcome. They've got an Imperm. Our opponent's also, I think, effectively in top deck mode at this point. And we do still have tools to disrupt them. Again, this Ice Dragon's Prison, right? So... Okay, Sangen summoning. I was gonna say, yeah, Pydra would be a little annoying here because it can grab the Quick Play spell card. The Sangen Kaimen. But we have the Blackout Laugh still in our graveyard to stop them from being able to summon or activate the effects of the declared card. So, top decking into Maxi. I don't know if that's the most ideal. Oh, we can just reset the Karma Cannon, of course. Never mind. I was going to say, we're still going to need a way to out not only the Pydra, but whatever follow-up they have, and we do have that now. So, Pydra going to grab the Sangen Kaimen here, which they're going to activate right now for Genroku. Okay. And then Genroku F to summon. And they're going to use the effect to summon Fadra. Fadra effect for the Shundra. And we're just going to flip up Karma Cannon. Oh! I didn't even think about that interaction. That's so good! Okay, so you might be wondering why those three monsters just went to the graveyard. You're probably like, wait a second, what's going on here? Destructive Drew Karma Cannon flips them face down. Why'd they go to the graveyard? Ah, so here's what happened. Because Sangen Summoning is on the field, and it is their main phase 1, their Fire Dragon monsters are unaffected by the opponent's activated effects. This includes the activated effect that changes as many monsters on the field as possible to face down defense position. So that makes sense, right? But you're probably still wondering, well then why did they go to the graveyard? Shouldn't they have just been unaffected? But that's the other thing about Karma Can, is that if they either player controls a face-up monsters after that, they have to send all... They must send all face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. And as you may or may not know, this is how Karma Cannon gets around towers type monsters, right? Because it's like evenly matched. The player is the one sending the cards to control the graveyard. They do it. It's not the card that's doing it. The card effect is forcing the player to do it. This gets around unaffected abilities, and that's why they all went to the graveyard. That's so good. That's so good. Oh my god. I didn't even think about that interaction. That's absurd. Alright, so they still have the Sangen Kaiman here. We're gonna probably end up using the Maxi. Maybe we're not at some point here. No, because we're just gonna use the Ice Dragon's Prison instead. We can not only eat their target, but also then, of course, banish both cards. Yep. That's pretty good. And they're just gonna concede at that point. Did we use the Lovely Lab effect? I don't think we did. But, I don't know, maybe they could have still kept going, right? I feel like they could have tried to maybe top deck into something. Well, I guess they had the field spell too. Anyway, that was a really, really nice interaction. Thanks very much for showing that game off, Dirty Dan. And thanks to everyone again who submitted. Like I said at the top of the video, this series could not happen without you all, and I very, very much appreciate the continuous support that you've given over the years through for this series and for the channel as a whole. It really does mean the world. I appreciate you all. But let's just go ahead now and move to our outro. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Just want to give you a huge thanks for watching all the way to the very end of the video. Believe it or not, that is actually one of the best ways that you can support the channel, is by watching the videos in their entirety. But there are many ways in which you can support the channel if you are so interested. The names that you're seeing on screen here, I gotta give an extra special thanks to, because these are people who have chosen to either become a member on YouTube, which if you're interested you can do as well via the join button next to the subscribe button down there, or have signed up over on Patreon and become members there. Link to that is going to be in the description below. Without the support that is being offered by, again, all the people that you're seeing on screen right here, I would not be able to take the time to dedicate to uploading daily YouTube videos. So thank you so very much. But there are also other ways you can support as well. Again, link to the description below. If you like my deck tracker that you'll see in a lot of my videos, the Untapped Companion, you can download that for free, and if you use my affiliate link down there, then that also goes a long way towards supporting the channel. That's, again, free. So is subscribing here on YouTube. That's also free and a huge way to support. You can also check out Twitch, once again linked in the description below. Following and subscribing over there will not only support as well, but also give you notifications of when I go live if you want to catch some of the live streams. But really, no matter how you choose to support, it all adds up, and it all definitely means the world. So thank you, each and every one of you. For now, this is Hexlex. I'm going to be signing out. But more than that, I'm hoping that you have a fantastic day.